The reason I can't go spearfishing here in Montenegro is not because it's not good for spearfishing. The water is flat, it's clean, it's the Mediterranean. And it's not because there's no access. I can get in most of the ways across this coast, not because I don't want to be here. It's beautiful. There are so many cool old Phoenician strongholds up on the hills, and this country has a lot of history. None of those reasons are why I can't spearfish here. It's because of a little, tiny piece of legislation. Now, one of the first questions you might be asking is, where exactly is Montenegro? Well, it is one of the Balkan countries in Eastern Europe, so it borders with Croatia, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Serbia, Kosovo, and Albania. Now, it's not that spearfishing is a foreign concept in this part of the world. It's very big in Croatia, Slovenia, even in this country, Montenegro, and Albania to the south, it's very big. But the problem lies in the fact that as a foreigner, I cannot get a spearfishing license due to some strange legislation. I can get a fishing license to go rod and line fishing, just not spearfishing. And I tried several times to get this license. I even went to a big spearfishing store here in the north of the country, and they said, sorry, it's just a complication with our government at the moment, and it's hopefully going to be resolved by next year. So maybe next year we'll come back and do some spearfishing, but this time round, I'm just going to shoot fish with a camera instead. Our next accommodation looks really good for this particular activity because it is nestled on a rocky peninsula, and I can just jump straight off our balcony just about and go diving with Hannah. So we'll take you along and see what we can see.
I chose my first dive late afternoon in hopes of seeing some predators. Sneaking around the rocks, I found sargos grazing in the shallows. As expected, with the light getting lower, the predators are becoming more active. This moray eel was out in the open, presumably getting ready to hunt. Meanwhile, this girthy eel looked like it was resting after having its dinner. A fishing boat makes its way out for the evening. Sargos and 2-bar sea bream are taking shelter in their caverns. As I pull my head out of the rocks, I see two familiar faces charging right at me. Denton, Dentisha, Denti, Zubatak, or whatever you call them. The Dentex is my favorite Mediterranean fish. This pair were only a few hundred grams, but their predatory nature is already well developed. Where there's smoke, there's fire. I swam out to a drop-off where the bottom was around 20 meters and made a dive. Now this was a proper Dentex.
I just saw a really nice Dentex, probably 2 or 3 kilos, just come in and buzz me. Of course, now here you go, but so it goes.
It's quite hard to see as it was fairly dark at this stage, but I think this is a small pargo, aka Pagris pagris. There were some absolute whoppers in the restaurant fish displays, so it stands to reason that they are locally caught. The sun was really low by now, and it was Croatian grouper for dinner. You can check out that video with the grouper and all the other videos from this trip in this playlist. We had some stunning weather for early October with tops of 30 degrees and sunshine. End of season in Europe is my favourite. Less crowds, not roasting hot like the surface of the sun, and our accommodation here was only 60 quid a night. Plus, we could just dive right off our apartment. I'm not sure if camo wetsuits make a difference for spearfishing. I've shot plenty of fish in black suits, but looking at this one, it blends in really well. I'd love to hear your opinion on camo wetsuits, so leave me a comment below. We were now at risk of missing the sunset entirely, so we raced back to our apartment only to realize that if we left the water, it would be gone. Not a bad way to end the day. After a week in Montenegro, it was time to head south to Albania. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll get back to the spearfishing in the next country and video.
Oh, we're going to Albania. Oh, we're gonna have a party. This is the Montenegrin-Albanian border with a lovely blue, well, not blue.
Apple.
Whew, that was some tough diving, mate.
Yeah? How you feeling?
Oh, you could not see your hand in front of your face. Absolutely no hope for that dive, but I think the old Dan the man might have found some gold. No pun intended.
D-Man may have redeemed the situation.